पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू। Wow.
In the horrific incident of a man urinating on a female passenger on an Air India flight, now we have a response from Air India. The Air India says the crew assisted the female passenger to a different seat in the same class and provided a set of dry clothes and slippers. This is back in November. But for further clarity on the matter, let's go across to my colleague Vishnu Shom, who joins us live.
Well, what we can talk about now is what Air India has actually told the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, which is now investigating this entire issue, and we've got details of that communication. And essentially what Air India is saying is they've described the circumstances. I can actually read out a part of that, and basically they've said that Air India's cabin crew received a complaint from a female passenger on board Air India 102 on the 26th of November that a male co-passenger had soiled her clothes and bags by relieving himself near the seat that she was in. The crew assisted the female passenger to a different seat in the same class, provided a set of dry clothes and slippers. The woman passenger initially requested that action be taken against the offender upon arrival, but subsequently rescinded her request after the two parties appeared to sort the matter out amongst them. So this is interesting because in this particular case, Air India seems to suggest that there was initially some sort of an agreement which was raised. Since then, Air India has taken the following steps, and let's keep bringing you these details. And I'm just reading from this. The matter has been reported to an internal committee according to the DGCA for declaring the passenger unruly. Pending a report from an internal committee, the passenger has been banned to fly on Air India for 30 days. The committee has obtained the necessary documentation and has held its first hearing. So this is important. I believe that Air India has been in touch with the man who committed this offence, and he's been called for hearings. The alleged perpetrator has requested additional documents prior to a second scheduled hearing, which is expected to take place on the 10th of January. So Air India in talks already with this man. He was given an opportunity for a hearing. A case has been registered with the Palam police station on the incident. The aggrieved passenger has been refunded a fare JFK to Bangalore, where she was headed. We've also been in regular contact with the aggrieved passenger, her family, etc., during the investigation and the reporting process. This part is important because Air India says that they are reviewing their standing instructions to crew on reporting of such incidents to authorities on arrival, including in scenarios where the alleged victim does not wish that such a report be made public or that such a report be made. So essentially what they're saying is that, look, there are instances, and they believe that this was one such incident where there was some sort of an agreement which the victim had arrived at with the man who relieved himself on her. But despite this, the airline says that we now need to figure out whether this can be left at that stage, which they clearly did. Remember, in this case, it was only after the woman in question, a senior citizen, reached out to the chairperson of Air India a day after this incident that, the ball got rolling and action was eventually taken. What action? Right now, there are police teams which are on the lookout for this man in Mumbai. There are some raids, we are told, which have been made. He's going to be questioned, and he's been charged under 3 separate sections of the IPC, outraging the modesty of a woman, in criminal intimidation, one more factor also, the aircraft rules. But so it's all happening now. It's just a matter of time, one would assume, before this man can in fact be brought. And we've also got his name, which we can share with you at this stage. His name is Shankar, and we've got a few more details on which I can also at this stage share with you. The man in question, Shankar Mishra, I believe, is his name, right? He was seated at 8C and seat number 8C in business class, and the woman who suffered, the senior citizen, was seated at 9A. He was one seat ahead of her, and I think in the center of that business class cabin, or towards the center, when this incident took place, after the lights had been switched off, I believe, after a meal. So action is now being taken at all levels.
Vishnu, as always, thank you so much for joining us with the latest information.